Alright guys, in this quick video we're going to be going over how you can make a living online using simple tools and goal setting strategies and a different framework that I'll be going over that's kind of old, but we kind of brought it back and spiced it up a little bit. So we'll be going over a few little things. It'll be a quick video, so stick around, and when I come back we'll get started. Alright guys, welcome back. In this short video we're going to be going over how you can get some basic understanding of how to set some goals, to get your business up and running so you can, be successful online and start earning some money. So this quick slide is just going to go over some tools, some ideas for you to be able to motivate you. It's a concept by Kevin Kelly. He's I don't know if he owns Wired magazine, but I found the concept from a friend of mine, but it's an old concept, but it really works. So let's get started with setting goals. The problem that comes with making a living online is most of us, we have talent, but we can't sustain production at a pace that profits. So we know we make cool things, a lot of us creators, like, we make a lot of stuff and we get a lot of praise, and we do, wow, that's pretty cool, or wow, I like that, or that is neat, or show me how to do that. But we exhaust ourselves trying to, produce mass productions of content, of value, of anything, that we are trying to make a living online. So we just run ourselves dry. That happens to a lot of us, and we totally give up. That's the thing. You cannot give up when you hit these walls and when you run into sort of like writer's block and stuff like that, So that's one. We have good ideas, but get beat in the marketplace. So sometimes, let me move this over. A lot of us, including myself, have great ideas, but by the time I actually implement it, somebody has beaten me to it with a similar product or one that is of the same, So that has happened to me time and time again. Now, that didn't discourage me from launching my product or particular content. It just had to go back to the lab, sort of, and rework it to get it redone, so to speak. So that is a real problem that we face making a living online. And then we tend to be distracted by other good ideas. So we can be in the middle of working on something, and then, we'll have an idea about something else, and we'll be like, well, okay, I'll start on that. And then, I'm guilty of this, and then I'll start on this new project and get it all laid out, the framework, and not get neither of them done, because then something else comes along. So that is really something to be aware of and try to avoid. We tend to be distracted by learning. So we tend to be distracted by new tools and shiny objects syndrome. All that is learning, so it's the same thing. I myself or have in the past, got overwhelmed with all these different tools. You're going to notice from making money online that every month you're going to see a different way of doing it. And it's not saying that you don't need to stay, current with your niche, but if something's working, stick with it and, roll with it, and then grow and change by different mentors. So, our market's always going to change. There's always going to be new ways to do stuff. Just don't let, the newest tools and the shiny object and learning stuff get in the way of what your production is in your niche. We tend to struggle over which voice to listen to or be mentored by. So, we may find one particular mentor that helps us, or some videos, or training and we get that, but then we don't implement the strategies. We move on to the next, or we find somebody else that we can relate to and we get all their stuff. And then, I did this for years, guys. I would just continue to gravitate towards people, get their courses, get their coaching, and then not even do it, and then go on to the next and do the same. And I've done this for years. I mean, it was just like, it's not a waste of time, because you are learning their particular style and strategy, but if you're not implementing it, so that's why you have to develop your own style based off of, their particular training. So put your little spin on it and pizzazz. And then there are some that are naturally focused and attain success in spite of these factors. So, there are a chosen few, that literally just get this, right away. It doesn't take, somebody to hold their hand, or they just get it. They just know it, and they're, say luck, say talent, but some people just get it and they see it, and that's not likely for most. Most tend to struggle for months, sometimes even years, with a combination of these them. I put, sorry for my past tense, present tense, but I know it's not a prepositional phrase, but most of us, I myself, it's taken me years, so don't get discouraged if, you have been, bouncing around and doing stuff for years before you developed your own particular way of doing things and getting stuff done. But some, can get it right away, but 90% of us, we struggle with it for months and even years. So don't get discouraged, guys. Just get back in there, take your breaks, go through your writer's block, do all that stuff, but get back in the ring and keep going, and you will see some results, I guarantee it. Problems that come with making a living online. What guides our decision making? It tends to be. So I think I messed up that title. I don't know. I think that title was supposed to be in the first slide, but here's some of the things that we need to guide us, So I don't know about you, but I have got training, like coaching, that I purchased years ago, but it is still relevant. It is still valid, that you can go to wherever you purchase it, Zaxa, JV, ClickBank, Warriors Plus, wherever you have this, Amazon, eBay even, that's housed. So even if you don't have it on your physical device anymore, if it's like lost from, maybe you've upgraded your computer or whatever, you can always access those, those trainings and all that information through, your whatever platform you purchase that stuff on. So never, think, well, I bought something and it's like some coaching, but, I don't know where it's at no more. You can always trace it back and get that stuff. And if you don't, like, say for instance, the platform they produced it on or whatever is not available, look for them and see if you can contact it some kind of way. Say, hey, I've just purchased your course, not just, but several years ago, and somehow it's not available on this platform anymore. Do you know where I can get it at? And I'm sure they'll give you, probably an updated version of it for probably free or little money. But that's something that you can take advantage of. Information products. So an information product is, not the same dynamic as coaching, one-on-one coaching. It is helpful, though. It's kind of like what I'm putting together here, Information products are great, and I've used many of them, and I create a lot of them. They are just wonderful, and they are a lot cheaper than getting the coaching. So for most of my, products that I've created, I've followed the framework of, I didn't use a coach. I've just followed the framework of creating information products and stuff. The actions of others. So we tend to watch the actions of other people that are making a living online. We see them doing well. So that could motivate us in the process. That will help us. The success of others, when we see others succeeding, that should give us the drive to continue. The failure of others. Sometimes we see others fail, and I know, some people, I'm glad they failed, like haters or whatever. I don't know why our human psyche's like that. I don't particularly. I'm just saying there's a lot of people that want to kick you when you're down. If you're not doing quite well, you'll get all these people that love to see you down. So that will give you the drive to continue on. Also, the need for cash resources. So that's the big goal for everybody. We want money. We want to make money. It's like, hey, I see all these other people making money. Why can't I? And this, this is what drives us. All right, so how do we move towards the goals you actually do want in your business? So this is a framework, and a framework is just like an outline of Kevin Kelly, what I spoke to you about earlier in this slide. It's a framework, and I think I'll get into it in the next slide. My laptop the battery has ran dead. But the guy, and I'm using I'm using my laptop charger to charge my little light up there. So anyway, just bear with me, guys. Goal setting framework. To guide your decision making, you need goals that fit the framework for good decision making. So we need to be specific. So I myself, I use paper. I've got a big calendar here, and I've got one right behind me, where I lay out everything. It's like a big magnetic board with the calendar, and it's just all laid out on my particular agenda for that week and that month. I try to get it a month in advance. Some people do it 6 months, some people do it a year, but as of right now, I can just reach is a month. But not saying that you might be different, but that you need to be specific and have something laid out and measurable, meaning you need to say, look, okay, I'm going to take this $100 and do this with it, and it should do this in return, and I'm going to give it this much time, so to speak. So you need to make sure you measure stuff. And if it doesn't happen, go back, look at, well, why didn't it, and figure that out. So they attainable. So you need not to say, hey, I'm going to make this $100 turn into 1,000 by tomorrow. You need to make it realistic. So they need to be obtainable goals and relevant. So you need to pick something that is going to be relevant to what you are trying to do as far as your niche. And how can we apply these goals? So we can do this by blogging. So that's, something that everybody can do regardless. If you cannot read, write, spell, we have video now, we have audio now. It's just amazing. So there's always a way to get your voice out. Affiliate marketing. Now there is millions, I want to say millions, but thousands of platforms that we literally can market on. So if we can always promote stuff. PLR, private label rights, my favorite. So you can take stuff that is created by somebody else and use that for your own. So that is white label and private label rights stuff. Product creation, that's one of the ways we can go about attaining, these are making a living online. Niche marketing, there's so many niches out there. Find your passion and start blogging, video blogging, or all that. E-commerce, freelancing. freelancing is what we can do. Like I do it. I have services on Fiverr. I have services on Upwork. I provide services for people in turn for profit. So they pay me for services. Also use a virtual assistant. So, you know, all these or any combination. So me, myself, personally, I have for the whole month laid out, all of these. So I implement all these into my business. I have my hand in e-commerce. I do the freelancing. I have a virtual assistant. And a virtual assistant, don't get scared at that, guys. It's not nothing like somebody that's dedicated. You can go as far as, you know, you can go to Fiverr, you go to Craigslist, you can go to Upwork, you can go to, there's so many platforms out there to get people. And granted, some of them are from third world countries, so, you know, you do get what you paid for. But for simple tasks like, hey, upload these videos, you know, twice a week to this, or do, you know, or, you know, give them a set of instructions to follow, and, you know, that's it. So it doesn't matter what country they're in. So, but to be cost effective, you know, third world countries are, you know, there for a reason. And like I said, I have my hands in literally every one of these. And if you're just getting started, you know, stick with something, but try to implement, you know, all of these at one time if you can possibly. And then here's the framework by Kevin Kelly. So this is the outline of your, you know, something to look forward to in your business. It is 1,000 true fans. So no matter what goals you're in when making a living online, even if you're product creating, even if you're blogging, even if you're e-commerce, you're still going to be able to draw fans to you. You know, when you say, for instance, you use Amazon or eBay, you know how you can write a review and, you know, you're doing good business with them. People are satisfied with you. You know that customer will purchase again. So that is what a true fan is, or a true customer. So it's kind of the same thing. And it says, Kelly sets the framework for any creative person to sustain themselves a base of 100,000 annually by rethinking how they attempt to reach their customers. So it's just another way of looking at how to, you know, to reach your customer with those avenues. And once you have, you know, used those platforms and you have 1,000 fans, if one of them spends $100 a month, right here, Kelly argues that a creative person can create at least $100 for 1,000 customers, and that's 100,000 a year. So that is a really, really good living, and that can use, you know, and you can use this as your gold. So that's it, guys. Here's a few things. I know I didn't want to make this too long, but be specific with your, you know, when you're planning all this out, measurable, attainable results, and calendar year. Alright, so please remember, it's never too late to start earning a living online. So just keep that in mind, guys, you know, that you can, you know, use all or one of these simple tools to make a living online. Let me move my camera a little bit. And with that, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Have a great day, guys, and God bless.